Hi all, this is Nellie from the Ordinary Saintly Souls YouTube channel, and I am now reading from the Visions of Maria Valtorta, paraphrasing, summarizing and reading about when Jesus is brought to Caiaphas, the high priest, and the council, the Sanhedrin. And so they bring Jesus to the house, and it is in the middle of the night, but somehow they're all waiting for him there. And on the road between the house of Annas and Caiaphas, the guards keep spitting on him, hitting him, pulling his hair, insulting him, and the people have gathered around them, waited for them to come out of the house of Annas so that they could participate in this, insulting, what can one say it, fest. And just as Jesus arrives at the house of Caiaphas, Gamaliel steps in with his servant, and he looks at him and he says to Jesus, "Who are you?" And Jesus says, "Read the prophets. They have the answer to your question, and they talk about the first sign, and you will see the second sign shortly." By that he probably means his death and resurrection. So what is interesting is that several seats in the assembly are empty. Eliezer and John have sent letters telling the council members that they refuse to come. And so this makes Caiaphas very mad. And then he asks what the holy council members all have against Jesus. And now I'm reading again from the text. And this is quite interesting. I will just mention what they say. One says, "He infringed the Sabbath in my house." "Is it true, defendant?" asks Caiaphas, and Jesus is silent. Another says, "I have seen him live with well-known prostitutes, feigning he was a prophet, pretending to be a prophet. He turned his house into a brothel with heathen women of all people." And Caiaphas says, "Is this true? What do you say?" And Jesus remains silent. Another one accuses him of, "He missed no opportunity to deride us and have us ridiculed. Common people no longer love us because of him." "Do you hear them?" says Caiaphas. "You have profaned the holy members." Jesus remains silent. There's another accusation. "This man is possessed. After he returned from Egypt, he has practiced black magic." My goodness, Jesus was a toddler when he returned from Egypt. Caiaphas asks the man, "How can you prove it?" And then the man says, "On my faith and on the tables of the law." "Whoa, that's a grave charge," says Caiaphas. "Prove your innocence," he tells Jesus. Jesus remains silent. Another accusation: "Your ministry is illegal, you know that, and liable to death. Speak up." "This session of ours is illegal," says one of them. Actually, it's Gamaliel who says that. He says, "Stand up, Simeon, and let us go away." And they all say, "Rabbi, have you gone mad?" And Gamaliel says, "I respect the texts, but it is not lawful to proceed as we are doing. And I will make a public charge against it." And he goes out, stiff as a statue, followed by his servant. Then there is a little turmoil, and Nicodemus and Joseph take advantage of it to speak in favor of Jesus. And they say, "Gamaliel is right. The time and the place are illegal, and the charges are not consistent. Can anybody accuse him of having notoriously despised the law? I am a friend of his, and I swear that I've always found him to be respectful of the law. And I too. And in order not to assent to a crime, I cover my head, not for him, but for us, and I go out. And Joseph is about to come down from his seat and go out. But Caiaphas shouts, "Ha, that's what you have to say? Then let the sworn witnesses come and listen to them." So the sworn witnesses turn out to be 2 ex-prisoners who obviously have been paid to say certain things. And Joseph shouts, "This is not lawful, and it's not lawful to listen to both at the same time." And Caiaphas says, "I'm the high priest, I give the orders, be silent." Joseph strikes the table with his fist and says, "May the fire of heaven fall upon you. As from this moment be aware that Joseph the elder is an enemy of the Sanhedrin and the friend of the Christ. And I'm going at once to inform the praetor, the Roman person in charge, that a man is being sentenced to death here without the approval of Rome." And he rushes out, giving a violent push to a young scribe who would like to hold him back. Nicodemus goes out more calmly without saying a word. And there is more turmoil. Now they are afraid of Rome. "See, all this is happening is your fault," they say. You're the corrupter of the best Judeans. You have prostituted them." Jesus remained silent. "Let the witnesses speak," shouts Caiaphas. And then the witnesses say, one of them says, yeah, he was making, we knew, but what is the name of that thing, a tetra? You mean a tetragram, which is, if I understand correctly, the 4-letter name of God in the Old Testament. "That's it. You have said it. He evoked the dead. He called up the dead. He taught people to rebel against the Sabbath and to desecrate the altar," says one of the accusers. "We swear it. He said that he wanted to destroy the temple and rebuild it in 3 days with the assistance of demons. No," he said, "it will not be built by man." So now I'm going to the next page. So this brings Caiaphas down from his chair and he approaches Jesus. But Jesus remains silent. He looks at him but does not speak. And Caiaphas says, "Reply to me then, I'm your pontiff. I adjure you by the living God. Tell me, are you the Christ, the Son of God?" Jesus said, "You have said it, I am. And you will see the Son of Man sitting at the right hand of the power of the Father, come on the clouds of the sky. Moreover, why do you ask me? I have spoken in public for 3 years. I have not said anything in secret. As those who have heard me, they will tell you what I have said and what I've done." One of the soldiers who's holding him hits him on his mouth, making it bleed once again, and shouts, "Is that how you reply, O Satan, to the high pontiff?" And Jesus replies, "If I have spoken the truth, why do you hit me? If I have said something wrong, why do you not tell me where I'm wrong? I tell you once again, I am the Christ, the Son of God. I cannot lie. I am the high priest, the eternal priest. And I alone wear the true rationale on which it is written, doctrine and truth. And I'm faithful to both, even to death. Holy in the eyes of God, hated by the world, and until the blissful resurrection, I am the anointed one, pontiff and king I am. And I am about to take my scepter, and with it, a winnowing fan, I will clear the threshing floor This temple will be destroyed and it will rise again, new and holy, because this one is corrupt and God has abandoned it to its destiny. Blasphemer, they shout in one voice. And will you do that in 3 days, you silly possessed man? Oh, not this one, says Jesus, but mine will rise again, the temple of the true, living, holy, 3 times holy God. Anathema, they howl. Caiaphas raises his clucking voice and tears his linen garments with affected horror and says, what else have we to hear from witnesses? He has blasphemed. So what shall we do? And they all cry out, he should die. He deserves to die. He deserves to die. And then the guards start to hit Jesus again and spit at him and pull his hair. And at one point, they all get tired and they need a little rest. So they take Jesus to a closet and making him go through many yards where he has to go through the mob that is throwing stones at him. And Jesus arrives in the courtyard where Peter is sitting near a fire, and that is where the famous 3 times denying of Peter happens. And then from there, they take him to the house of Pontius Pilate, and I will talk about that in the next video. This was Nelly, Ordinary People, Saintly Souls, reading from the visions of Maria Valtorta.